Hello, everybody, and welcome to another cup of self-empowerment to trust, heal, and be thyself. And I'm absolutely delighted to welcome a very special guest to our Cuppa Hub today, someone who was with us now 2 years ago, I believe. So it's been a while. So welcome back, Alyssa. It's lovely to
Thank
have you
you.
back here. And for those of you who don't know Alyssa, then you're in for a treat today because Alyssa is a Reiki master and teacher and a mentor and a holistic business coach. She also has a multidisciplinary background spanning psychology BA, health promotion BS, exercise and kinesiology MS, and she brings a unique blend of expertise to her students and clients. As the Holy Fire 3 Reiki Master Teacher, Certified Gaia Reiki Practitioner, Advanced Integrated Energy Therapy Practitioner, and Certified Exercise Physiologist, I've got to get that right. Alicia offers profound insights and transformative programs and courses. Alyssa's journey is marked by thousands of hours of exploration, study, and training, and a commitment that continues to evolve. So whether you're searching for a mentorship, or as an inspiring healer, or ready to launch and grow your own business, Alyssa's compassionate approach and extensive skills set make her a trusted mentor and a coach on your personal and professional journey. So thank you so much for being with us today, Alyssa.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having me. Excited to be here. I can't believe how many years it's been,
I
honestly.
know. I
I
was
think you
just
had just
shocked.
started this. Yeah, you had really just started this. I was
Hmm.
probably like one of your first maybe five or
Yeah.
10 people. Yeah.
You were in the top 10, I think, believe it or not. Yeah. So
Yeah.
nice. Great to have you back. And so, you've obviously been on a big journey yourself, stepping into, you've got all these qualifications behind you now. And it obviously started with a journey of trusting and then going on to healing and actually being who you are today. I mean, in the last 2 years, you've obviously, like us all, evolved in a great way as well. So, maybe just give our viewers today a little bit background, how you started trusting yourself, how it moved into healing, and then how being who you are today. And then, I know you've got something you'd like to share with us later as well. So when we can dip into that afterwards, that would be great.
Yes. Thank you for the question. So, in terms of really figuring out how to trust myself, how to really step into my power, into my authenticity, I would have to say it, like many of us, right? The path found me.
Yeah.
And I can't say I was searching. I can't say I was looking. I would say it was really just being over it, like being over the hustle and the
Mhm.
struggle
Mhm.
and feeling like I had all of this potential and so much that I wanted to give and so much that I wanted to do. And it was almost felt like there was like no place for it, like no place for me. Like I had all these ideas. So background, I was working in corporate wellness. I was like a clinical health coach. I was actually managing the coaching team at that point when the company I was working for was going through some hard times.
Mhm.
And I just felt like there was a ceiling, this cap, and I couldn't really get past it. And that really frustrated me. And what happened was I had this really crazy year I had lots of losses in my life, close family members, one of my best friends, my husband lost his job, the company I was working for got trying to remember if they went bankrupt at this point. No, but they were like massive layoffs. Like there was all of this change and transition, like very much like that tower moment,
Yeah.
right? Like in tarot. And
Mm.
and what happened was I ended up finding my way back to Reiki. So it had been introduced to me before. I had a couple experiences with it. I actually did a pilot study at the company that I was working at, and we looked at how distance Reiki was helping people with their sleep and their stress. So I was already really convinced, and I was really excited to learn more about it. And the Reiki master who introduced it to me ended up attuning me to level 1, and
Okay.
that just like opened up the floodgates in terms of increasing my intuition, really just peeling back the layers at a rate that I can't even comprehend, like how
Mhm.
quickly it felt like I was awakening to
Mhm.
the truth.
Mhm.
And I don't even think I knew really even what that meant other than just like, whoa, there's so much more to this world and to this life than what I'd been doing. I think so many of us just really go through the motions and just deal with what's in front of us. And we're almost just trying to like keep it together, right? Like just trying to
Exactly. It's just like, okay,
survive.
let's just get through today. Okay, we've managed to get through today. Okay, same day, rinse and repeat. Let's do it again tomorrow and so
Yeah,
forth. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
exactly, exactly. And that's just no way to live.
Mm-mm.
Just waiting until the end, waiting for this to be over, waiting for that. Oh, well, when this happens, then blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
So once I got attuned to Reiki, I started doing it on myself every single day. Like it was a ritual every single night. I would go through the steps. I would give myself Reiki. I'd oftentimes fall asleep giving myself Reiki.
Yeah.
And it changed so much for me. And it was really through this that I became empowered to I had already started my business. That was actually part of why I wanted to learn Reiki, because I wanted the person who was teaching it to
Mm-hmm.
me to actually practice for others. But in the process of learning how to do it myself, I became addicted to it. Like I was
Yeah.
giving it to myself.
It's very easy to get addicted to. I
Isn't it?
understand
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
I would literally, it was like I would wanted to give Reiki to anyone, and everybody who would do it, let me do it. And anyway, long story short, I ended up practicing because I just loved it so much. So I continued my training. I did my Reiki Master Teacher in 2019 with William Lee Rand, which
Mhm.
even that opportunity was
That's
just
incredible, to do it with the actual founder of the Reiki Association.
right here in Rhode Island too. Like the fact that it even
Wow.
was like right, was able to drive back and forth from my house for three
Oh my
days.
God, that's incredible.
It wasn't like, and when I tell you, like all the things fell into place, and I think that's what it was when I first started to really follow those nudges and
Mm,
trust my intuition and really believe in myself
yeah.
and believe that I could do this. Things just kept falling into place, opportunity after opportunity, and just like the right place at the right time. And even little like contracting jobs that I had in between after I left my full-time gig and I'd started my business,
Mhm.
these things that were just like, it felt like they just were magnetized towards me. And
Wow.
that continues to happen. It continues to happen. And I think what people really need to understand is that it doesn't look pretty all the time.
No, it
It
doesn't.
doesn't feel good
It
all the
gets pretty
time.
awful at times as
It
well.
gets pretty awful at times. And just recognizing that those moments are part of the journey.
Hmm.
And as bad as it gets, it can only get at least twice as good. Maybe even 10 times as good. Maybe even 100 times as good, right? And
Hmm.
so just in remembering that and just in acknowledging that okay, like these hard moments, these challenges are just opportunities for more growth.
Yeah.
And, even looking back at the last 6 years since I started my business, which is like insane that it's even been that long, I look at it and I see that every struggle, every challenge, everything was such a beautiful divine lesson that I'm now able to help others through in a way that I never even anticipated.
Hmm.
Right. Like now I am launching my first summit this week. And in even just, I have 18 other people who are presenting within the summit,
Hmm.
and just in what I've been able to even help others through
Yeah.
this process of bringing them up, even you, including you, Kelly, right? Helping you figure out the Akashic records, meditation and everything else, and just like
I
the
knew how to
technical
do the
things.
meditation a bit. I know how to do the meditation. You didn't need to
Oh
show me
no,
how to
yeah,
do
no,
meditation,
the
but
tech
the technique
side,
behind it, yeah, there was
the
something which was
tech
going on with my
side.
computer. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Right, right, right. Yeah.
Mm.
So just sort of like all of these different pieces and all of these different things are just all like really incredible opportunities to help others grow. And I think that's really what it's all about. We all are going through our different waves of these cycles, and some of us are very new on our journey, right? And we're just starting to awaken to this and we're just starting to find that way. And
Mm.
then others are really ready to go up to that next level. And it's like understanding where we are within that spectrum, and then looking behind us and looking ahead of us and looking at who's like with us in this room right now in this level,
Mm.
and knowing that we're all on this journey together, I think is really
Exactly.
such a beautiful thing.
And I think what's also really important to emphasize is it doesn't matter if you're new or if you've been walking the path a long time. There's always opportunities to learn something new. Like I learned something new from you this week as well. And there's always that exchange. It's always an energy exchange. You're always learning from each other, and you're empowering each other and actually growing together. It's like a support network at the end of the day. You're celebrating each other. You want everyone to be seen at their best. and to shine their brightest, because together, when we all shine the brightest, we can help the most people. So,
Yes.
even if you've been working this journey for a long time and you might think, okay, I don't need to do a summer or something, there's sometimes you have to go back to basics. And even in those basics, there's like, golden nuggets there, which you're like, oh my goodness, I did actually know that, but I've learned so much stuff since then. It's kind of got really stuffed down a little bit. It's time to pack that one out again, and you actually embody it in a new way and an even stronger way. So, I believe this summer is equally for those who are very new on this path, who are really starting, as you say, to awaken, and, looking for a community, because stuff happens, you're like, is this normal? Is this happening to other people? I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. I feel a bit overwhelmed. How can I not feel so overwhelmed? Or, there's so much comes up. And then the monkey mind gets in the way. So it's the opportunity to really, connect with others who have walked that path themselves. You might even be able to resonate with what their story is all about, with the healing modalities that they're offering. Not everyone's up for Reiki, not everyone's up for the Akashic records. There's so much, it's such a broad spectrum of like modalities which are being offered. I don't know how many different modalities being offered in the summer. I think it's about 15,
I
isn't
believe it's
it?
18. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
18 or 19. And there were even more. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do a second edition because more
Yeah.
people keep coming in with these other things and tools. And that's the really cool thing about it, is that there are so many different tools, there are so many strategies,
Mm,
and they all blend together so beautifully.
mm, mm-hmm.
And that's what I really love about each of these different interviews and each of these different people who are presenting on the topic that they are the expert on. They
Mm-hmm.
all use many different strategies, many different tools, many different modalities at the same time. Almost
Yeah.
all of us do. If you look at the bios and all the speakers, everyone has at least like 3 or 4 certifications or degrees, even in their different, their different area. And I think that's it, is understanding that there's always more to learn.
Mm.
And at different stages of your growth journey, you're going to need more tools. You're going to need different tools, whether it is going back to basics, to the things you started with, or learning something completely
Yeah,
new.
completely. Yeah.
It's almost like if you start going to the gym, right? If maybe your goal is to to increase your fitness, right? Well,
Mm.
what you do when you're going from 0 to 1, right? When you're for that first week, maybe even that first month, maybe even that first 3 months that you're going, your workout is going to look very different than if you've been doing it for 30 years, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're going to need to, mix it up. You're going to need to try different things, because sometimes what works in the beginning doesn't really work anymore once you start
Exactly.
to get
You
to a new
outgrow
level.
it, for example. You
Yeah.
outgrow it, you change, you evolve. That changes the thing what you were using before, the modality. It might not feel completely aligned anymore. It might be time to level up and do something out, and you can always go back to it. And as you said before, there's always the opportunity to mix and match, isn't there?
Yes.
Everyone, teachers, coaches, mentors, guides, in a completely unique way.
Mm.
And I think that's something that we really need to encourage, that everyone's just uniquely themselves and doesn't feel that they have to wear the hat. Okay, I learn Reiki with Alyssa. I need to do a Reiki session exactly how Alyssa does it. No, you don't. Okay, I learned the Akashic Records with Kelly. I need to do an Akashic Record reading exactly as how Kelly does it. No, you don't. You let your team come in spirit while you're working with these modalities, and you will start, radiating your own wisdom and magic and finding your own feet. And like I'm sure you're the same, Alyssa. I'm completely great, for example, when I was having this technical issue, that I could reach out to you and say, hey, Alyssa, I've got this and this going on. Whoa, I'm not quite sure how to do this. Can you point me in the right direction? And then you took the time and done that. And that's, this is what it's all about, being there for each other when you
Mm.
need a helping hand, to say, hey, and not being afraid to say, hey, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here. And that person to say, okay, I can help you. And you're like, brilliant, thank you very much. Then you've got it under your belt as well. And at the same time, you're creating that bridge for when the other person needs help in some direction, they know they can ask you. It's not like one being better than the other. It's actually like together we are strongest. Together we can help more people, and we can help ourselves as well. So
Mhm.
this is, I think, probably one of the big messages I feel is really coming out of what this summit's all about.
Yes, 100%. That, and another thing to add to that would be sort of like breaking out of the guru mentality.
Yes,
Right? You know,
completely.
and I think
Yes.
that's what I love about all of the speakers, and what we're
Mm,
doing is that it's like you said, it's not about I know more than you or anything like
no.
that. It's really just about how humbling it is. Like we
Mhm.
all are just people.
Yeah.
And even though you're looking, oh, how is this person, this crazy master teacher, blah, 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 whatever, like, well, they started the same way that you did,
And it's a
right?
title at
And
the end of the day. It's just a label.
it's a label. It's a label, right? And that's why I was so passionate about putting this together, because I really did want to curate a community of people who are on the same wavelength, who do have the same mentality of helping each other grow, of wanting to do this because it's the right thing to do, not because of something they're going to get out of it
Oh,
or
God,
anything like
no.
that. It is really
Mm-mm.
just every single person is just so passionate about this work,
Yeah.
about helping others,
Well,
about
yourself
helping.
included, obviously. Otherwise, you
Yeah.
wouldn't have set this up. Yeah.
I literally, I keep saying it's a labor of love.
That's
This is
good.
not something I'm getting rich on or anything of the sort. My husband was actually laughing at, like, he's like, can you imagine if you paid somebody to put in all the hours that you've put into
Yeah.
this? And
You do it with passion. That's the thing when you're aligning to what your soul craves you to do, what you're here to do, then the passion does come in and you don't clock watch.
yeah.
You're not clock watching thinking, okay, I'm going to do my regular whatever 9 till 5, and then I'm going to shut my computer off, and then I'm not going to think about it anymore. If you're, really doing what your heart craves you to do, desires to do, then as you say, it's a labor of love.
Absolutely. And
Mm.
it's interesting because I feel like it takes a whole other practice of boundaries
Yeah.
too when it
For
comes to this.
yourself.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. Because you can get really, really lost in it. I am not gonna lie, I was up until 11 o'clock last night, like working on things. But yeah, but then I'll take the time, right? After all of this is done, I can't wait to just rest next week.
Wow. Just think of all the people which are going to be helped from it, and that's
I
just
know.
beautiful. So
I
tell us
know.
a little bit about our, for someone who's like, oh my God, I've missed something completely. What is this summit about? Just give us a
Yeah,
little bit of background knowledge
sure.
on that.
Yeah, sure. So it's called the Empowered Healers Audio Summit. And what it is a series of interviews and presentations from different individuals who are experts within the modality that they teach or certify or mentor others with and or in. And the intention behind this is to give people who are interested in exploring new modalities and they're interested in possibly learning it for themselves or to practice professionally. I wanted them to have an opportunity to hear it from the horse's mouth, if you will,
Yeah.
right? You know, hear it from the individuals who live it and breathe it every day,
Mm,
and also to understand, like, what does it take, what does it entail to learn this modality, right? Like, what are the steps that I actually have to go through? And my other intention was to connect the people who are possibly interested in learning it to those who teach and certify it so that they have
okay.
a face to
Beautiful.
connect to.
Mm,
Exactly, because what I see is, because the healing industry is unregulated, right? There are very little to few licenses even within this field. There, of course, are certifications, but not all, or even have like a national or international board, where they recognize that this program is accepted or whatever, which is fine. And it's not to say that maybe even a program somebody just channels that isn't, a good program or anything like that, but rather I wanted to make sure that the teachers who I'm highlighting teach a foundation, because I believe it is that foundation that is integral in the practice of energy healing. So making sure that ethics are taught, making sure that energetic boundaries are communicated and taught, making sure that people understand that they are not healing others, that they are holding the space for healing, making
exactly.
sure that the foundation of self-care is priority. before anything else, when you step into this space, that is a non-negotiable. You 100% need to take care of yourself if you want to be holding this space for somebody else.
Mm.
And I wanted to raise the bar, honestly, in this industry, and that was a big motivation for doing this. So I love chatting with people. I love
Yeah, I like
connecting
that
and I
too.
love these conversations. I love getting deep. I love asking questions. So this was honestly just almost like a fun activity for me, just to get to speak with all of these amazing people,
Yeah.
and again, connecting them to these resources. And the other thing that's really cool about this summit is that it is podcast style, meaning it's an audio summit. So it's made for the busy person. So when you register beginning tomorrow, the 22nd of
Yeah, it's already
February,
tomorrow, isn't it?
I
So,
know,
yeah.
like, already this has been months in the making. And but you'll get, including Kelly's, you'll get a whole list of the talks for that day. I think there are 6 or 7 per day for 3
Mhm.
days. So you can listen on the go, you can 2x it, if you want to make it go really fast and listen
Yeah.
very
Or if it
quickly.
doesn't feel aligned, I mean, not everyone's
Yeah,
going to be aligned to everything, and that's not
exactly.
because it's bad or it's good or something like that. It's just
Right.
not for you, and that's okay.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So you can bounce around between talks. And I would say about probably 90% of the speakers also donated some kind of free resource to give to the listeners. So,
Mm.
Kelly, you have the amazing Akashic Records meditation and experience, which I still cannot wait to do myself. Right. So anybody who's registered will have the opportunity to listen and to download that, as well
Mm.
as, again, many other resources
Yeah.
within it. So, and then I went back and forth with, do I want to have like a community or a Facebook group or something like that to kind of like really build around, but I'm honoring my own energy and boundaries, and I am taking my overachiever perfectionist pants off, well, halfway off, and saying, you know what, we are just really going to focus on getting this message out to people, getting people engaged, getting people to listen, getting people to connect with the speakers who they feel aligned to and connected with, and just grow together.
I think that's the best way to do it for the moment. I think actually there's so much, and we know at the moment the energies are quite overwhelming as it is. The outside world is really loud, really busy. There's stuff going on which is not nice, and it's a lot for everybody, especially those who are sensitive and empathic, to actually take on. And I think what the beauty is, as you say, you can click and listen as you choose. You don't feel that you're going to be bombarded with messages from a community that feel you might have to join. It's not there, so you don't have to join it. So you can literally just go within and take what resonates and leave the rest.
Mm,
I think that's
yes.
I think that's just ideal for right now, completely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think my favorite part so far about all the presentations,
Mm.
is that at the end of every interview, I ask the speakers to share one piece of wisdom or advice that they would want
Yeah.
to give to somebody either just starting out or looking to
Mm.
grow. And the wisdom shared and the tips and the suggestions and everything have just been so magical. Again, I can just feel the wave of light that this whole experience is bringing.
Mm.
And I just encourage everybody to join, everybody to sign up. It's,
And
again,
it's
it's
free.
free.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely free. So
Mhm.
literally, you're not committed there at all,
Right.
anything. And yeah, I think it's beautiful that you've put this together. I really do. And I'm extremely honored to be part of this. So thank you. And yeah, I always love talking about the Akashic Records and
Yes.
getting the people to experience, a connection to it of some kind. So yeah. And the other modalities, there's just like stuff which is being listed, which is also, new land to me too. So I'm really curious as well what's going to be coming in, and pretty
Yeah.
certain that those who feel guided to grab their free ticket and to actually listen to the podcasts and receive the gifts which are coming with it, I think they're going to find the medicine they're looking for.
100%.
Yeah, maybe
100%. And then
too.
some.
Yeah, and some on top. And is the material, how long is the material available for actually, Alyssa? So if someone's saying, hey, I really can't be connected the next few days, I've got stuff going on in my private life, professional life, whatever, is the material available for a certain amount of time so they don't feel they have to really listen to it on those days?
It'll be available until the end of the day on Sunday, the 25th. And
Okay.
then I will tell you, so after you register for free, there will be a kind of like a flash sale type thing page that comes up right away for you.
Mhm.
So you'll have an opportunity if you want to purchase the lifetime access to them, plus over $1,000 worth of additional resources outside of
Wow.
the free stuff. Um,
Okay.
yeah, you can actually purchase that for $27. Um, yeah, so for anybody who is thinking like, okay, I definitely want to tune into all of this, plus I want all these other things, I would say that's probably a
It's a
really good
very digestible price.
investment. Yeah, exactly. And you actually get a portal. So there's a portal you can like log in and you can access all of these things,
Oh,
including the
wow.
yeah, including the replays. So, after that, like flash sale, after you register, it's $47. So I just want everybody to know, not be like, oh,
Yeah,
I'll
of
get that
course.
after. I want them to know that that price is just like if you get it right away. But it is
Mhm.
still available through the rest of the time. So even if you don't want to listen after, if you just have time for one or two, it's still worth signing up. I think for the free summit. And then yeah, again, if you know you're not going to have time, or if you have a vacation or something coming up and you don't want to
Commit
be glued
yourself
to
to
your
something.
phone.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Then yeah, you can get everything for lifetime access for $27 when you register.
Okay, that's really good to know. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is very good to know because
Yeah.
there is, yeah, if you think 18 people and 18 people are practically
Right.
bringing something, as a
Right.
giveaway as well. And then there's the opportunity to add on to that too. That's
Mm.
a lot of material.
There is. Do you want me to tell you some of the things that are in the bundle?
Yeah, please. Definitely.
Yeah, so some of my favorite ones. One of them is so Jane Thomas, who does intuitive tarot. She teaches tarot and she does tarot. She's a psychic medium. I don't know if you know her.
I
She's
don't
she's
know
connected to
her.
Soul Sanctuary.
Yeah,
And so she has a third eye activation meditation that's she's giving for a free resource, but then in the upsell
lovely.
bundle, she's giving a guide to how to open and close your third eye. So for people who are really trying to increase their intuition, which is a big part of the healing industry. I
Hmm.
love that resource. There's another one from Lisa Medley, who's just an
Oh,
amazing soul. I know you know Lisa.
I know
Um,
Lisa.
she contributed her own little bundle, which is all about tuning into your nervous system, relaxing your nervous system,
Cool.
fluid movement, intuitive movement. So I absolutely love that. Lisa is a somatic goddess.
She's
And
great.
yeah,
She's
she's great.
amazing.
She's great. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited to have her in there. And then one of the person who presented on yoga actually contribute a course, like a beginner's yoga course on there. So for somebody who just wants to start their own at-home practice for themselves, because again, self-care is a really big part
Yeah,
of
it's the
being a
foundation
healer.
at the end of the day, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yep, yep. There's a hypnosis session for self-trust. I have a
Oh.
Reiki healing experience, so the ocean of holy love.
Oh, I love the Ocean of Holy Fire.
Me too. Me
It's
too.
really
That it
beautiful.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a guided healing journey there. There are some tools for people who want to start their business. Gosh, probably forgetting more, but
There's loads. I remember when I
there's
looked at the list
loads.
myself, there was just like, I was like, oh my gosh, wow. It is
Yeah.
really nice. And what I like, I mean, obviously, there's so much out there on the internet and there's so much that you can find out for free, but it's actually nice to have a container, a nice, that's there, that you've got a one place to go. Okay, it's here. All right, then what do I like? What tickles my fancy, basically, what feels aligned. And also, does this person resonate with me? I
Right.
mean, I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
we all have people who we resonate with and who we don't resonate. And there's also no
Yes.
bad or good saying there. It's just, you
Exactly.
know, how we're all here. We can't all,
Right.
not just one person for the whole world.
Right.
There's
Right.
so many people who do, you
There
know,
are.
either the same or very similar work, but it doesn't mean they teach and resonate the same way to everybody. So it's really like dipping your toe in the water to
It is. Yeah. You know
yeah.
what I described it as? I can't remember if this was during our conversation or not, but it feels like a job fair, or like a career
Oh
fair
wow,
for
yeah.
like the healing industry. You kind of get to like, oh, hear a little bit
That
more
would be
about what
real
this is
fun.
like. I know, right? What that is like. So because there's so much, and unfortunately there are people out there who don't walk the walk, who don't practice what they preach. and I wanted to make sure that I had a beautiful container, like you said, of people who I think are just really, really great to learn from. And yeah, so I'm very proud of this entire thing. I think it's all come together beautifully. I'm so grateful for everyone who's chosen to be a part of it, both through speakers, through
As we are for you to
contributors.
be to have, approached us and say, hey, are you in? It's magic.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So it starts tomorrow. So um the sign up link I will send out to those who are interested where I share this. I'll be putting it in the comments where this is. And yeah, I would suggest grab your tickets and see if anything takes your fancy. You'll know. And that's also an invitation for you to connect with your inner guidance, to pick those who you feel called to listen to. And you'll know, after you've listened to it, whether it was aligned or not. So it's also an
Right.
invitation to tap into it, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on my Instagram, which my handle is Integrative Wellness Journeys, what
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be doing in lieu of creating this whole separate community, I'm going to be having a post each day of the summit where I'm going to invite everybody who's listening to post their takeaways on there, what they loved about it, any questions that they have, next steps that they're ready to take, that sort of thing. So I'm going to be building that community on there as well. So you guys can all connect with each other too, and like other people who are on the same journey, because like you said, Kelly, it's so important to have our network of others to help each other, to know we're not alone, to know that we're all on this path.
Yeah,
And
just because we're healers doesn't
yeah.
mean we don't have moments of overwhelm ourselves and think, oh, there's so
Mhm.
much going on. I'm not quite getting this. What does this want from me? And then you're like, okay, reach out to someone. Okay, thank you. And then
Yeah.
it's done. Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it's all part of being here on planet Earth.
Is.
We don't all walk on water and dance with butterflies and yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Yep.
there's some muddy puddles sometimes, and sometimes we slip up and fall back place in them, and that's okay
And
too.
that's okay too. That is okay too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. Oh, wow. Well, I'm excited for this, and I really think this is just going to be beautiful. And I'm really glad we've had the opportunity to connect just before, so we can get this message out. And for those, maybe the summit isn't for you, and that's also really cool. But maybe you're here and thinking, hey, I'm really digging Alyssa here. I want to learn Reiki. Oh my gosh, she does all these other modalities. I'm interested. I'm keen. Maybe you're based locally in Rhode Island. Maybe you obviously offers your services on Zoom as well. If Alyssa resonates, reach out to her on her Instagram handle or reach out to me and I can connect the two, because it is literally finding the people who you think, yeah, it kind of just makes a click and So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I love it.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Alyssa. Thank you so much. And
Thank you,
thank
Kelly.
you, everyone who's been watching today. And yeah, be curious to let them know if any of you sign up, join. And yeah, as Alyssa said, you can share your takeaways on her Instagram. And yeah, enjoy the next few days at this summit. And all the best to you as well, Alyssa. That is smooth sailing. And
Yes. May the
yeah,
technology gods shine upon us.
yeah. I've been needing these technology guides quite a lot this recently.
They got a great sense of humor.
They do. You're right. All right, then. So, everyone, thank you for watching today. And wherever you are in the world, whether it's the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, wishing you the rest of the day or evening to be a beautiful, peaceful, and yeah, relaxing time for you. It's time to take a deep breath and just go and tune out now. All right, then. Take care, everybody, and see you soon. Bye bye.